Sorry, guys. I'm going to wait for people to come in to the live stream. Can you all hear me well? And I'll explain what's happened. I just changed my settings on my phone. Currently using my iPhone for this because my internet. Oh, I don't want bubbles. What the heck is this? YouTube, what have you done to the live? What do I want? Oh, wow, this is crazy. Oh, I don't like this. Let's go back to normal. That'll do. Yeah, sorry guys about that. I had a live stream scheduled on my channel, and I was really excited for it because it was something that you guys wanted last week for me to do this week, which is a logo design live stream. But unfortunately, a company who was digging up the road has dug up the internet wires, it seems, because it just stopped working. I've been trying for the past hour and a bit to get the internet back up and running, and it didn't work. And I asked you guys on the chat in the last live stream whether you guys wanted to see have a Q&A to make up for it or whatever. So I've quickly masked my phone to my monitor. So yeah, but I made this little sorry sign for you all because I am tremendously sorry that we couldn't do the logo design thing. I can talk about it, but that's it. So in this live stream, instead of me just apologizing, I'm going to be taking any of your questions that come in. Now, the rules are, if you want a question to be answered properly and you want it to definitely be answered, you can super chat, you can subscribe and join the channel if you want. You can join the stream and press that join button. But if you enjoy it, please subscribe and ask away. Ask any questions. But yeah, apologies for the logo design live thing. All right. And I'm just sat here with a beer. So yeah, could have done fancy hand lettering on the sorry sign. That is true. And I did think, that is just a sorry state of affairs, that isn't it? That's because I use this humongous chisel tip Posca marker to do that. And it was supposed to be the thumbnail, which I thought would help you guys see that this is the real stream today. But if you guys got any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask them. I'm going to answer them in this stream, and we're going to have fun. So first one is from Dickinson's, and he says, what design groups are you part of on Facebook? I'm a part of a few of them, actually. I think too many. A lot of the groups that I'm actually a part of is creative freelancing or creative Facebooks or business Facebook pages. The one that I'm normally on is Created, which is CRTD or something like that. So that's what I'm on. Any advice, I want to see that. I want to see the chat. How do I see all my chat? This is really frustrating. Oh, here we go. Any advice on building an audience on Instagram? I'm kind of struggling with my content. I mostly post my sketches and stuff, and I want to get into more posting lettering stuff. Okay, so the only way to build a following on Instagram, and even Stefan and James Lewis today were talking about it in their Instagram live, is by consistency. So being yourself, doing something that you really love doing, and being consistent throughout that. If you post every day something for the next, year or whatever, you'll double your Instagram audience. So something you may not know is when I started YouTube, I realized what I had to do to start my Instagram following. So on Instagram, I've got 50 something thousand followers. That's not many compared to YouTube, but it's where my portfolio is. So I would start posting my hand lettering and my logo design stuff. And basically every day I'd post that as often as possible, my best work, the work that I enjoyed doing. And then it would basically people would start following because they know what to expect. When are you going to do live design critique? So I wanted to do a live design critique, but today, again, as normal, I was supposed to be doing a live logo design, so you guys could see me design a real logo for a client live and ask me questions about it. But basically, I couldn't because of the internet. But I want to do a actual critique live soon, and that's why I haven't been doing many critiques, because I want to start doing it live and getting you guys involved. Ginny says, do you use Dribbble? If so, why or why not? I do have Dribbble. I don't really use it. Only reason why is because all my clients will be on Instagram, and YouTube. Places like Behance are great. People know Behance, people know Dribble, but like for my audience, I tend to only like to post on Instagram really for my work, or on YouTube. So that's basically it. And if you guys are enjoying this, share it. What are the best fonts to use in your opinion? It depends, like fonts or typefaces. So like my favorite typeface, I think, is Gotham, just because it's really cool. It's really nice and it's minimal, and you can do a lot with it. I like fonts that are versatile, so fonts that have got like a lot of weight to it, you know. But there's loads of other fonts, such as like, you know, you got like Dido and things like that. In fact, over here, this is really cool. This book I would recommend to anyone which is um, type, designing type. I couldn't read it; it's backwards on there, and I won't show you all of it because I'll get screwed over. But it basically shows you how to design type. And if you guys are like getting into design or getting into typographic design, this is like the perfect book to do it on, because you learn so much in it. It goes through every single letter of the alphabet in sans serif and in serif type order, and this book is amazing, and it's my favorite book at the minute. As well as that, if you want to get into hand lettering, over here in my office, I've got this book here, which is expensive now, and it's my favorite book. It's like the Bible of lettering, The Art of Hand Lettering, and this one is what taught me what I know about all the hand lettering I did. And the book's so old; it was made like 1950s, and this one I think was like republished in 1950, but I think it was older than that. It's by Helmut Watzko, and it's an amazing book. It's like my go-to book, the only book that I like look at when it goes to hand lettering. I've read all of it, and I think I've read all of it like once, and then I keep going back to certain bits twice. It's insane. Let me just do that. Right. Let's see other questions. So again, if you guys super chat, just for anyone else who's just in, if you super chat, you'll definitely get your question answered. If not, I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. Feel free to subscribe and join the channel for some perks as well. Can you post links to those books, please? I would, but I'm not on my computer. I'm on my phone. Reason being, I'm using 4G, not the internet. Internet's down, blah, blah, blah. All done. So I'm taking any questions. I'm doing this live stream, and I know it's not as good, but I wanted to do something for you guys. What's the best way to build your client base as a freelancer, in your opinion? Building client base, it depends. So, like, I'm not really a graphic designer, and that sounds really weird to say. I'm more of a logo designer. So I generally work for a company once and then never again. And that's because I'm designing their brand. I'm not like designing flyers for them. I'm designing their logo, and then it's goodbye. I'll see you later. And, you know, the best way, if you're a designer though, and you're doing like, you know, multiple pieces of work, whether it's like, you know, PowerPoint slides or product packaging or designing CDs or labels or whatever, the best way to keep that and to keep getting them to come back for you is to do your best with your work. So whatever you charge, do more. Always under promise and over give, if that makes sense. What's the word called? You just do more for them, so you bless them in that way, and they'll come back to you. Another question from Emil, or a question from her: do you need to build an audience on many platforms at the same time, or is Instagram enough? It depends. Like, it depends how thin you want to spread yourself. I think, like, in the world of social media now, if you've got a YouTube channel, like myself, for instance, I've got a YouTube channel, and I basically go to Instagram and I do my work on there for a different audience. My YouTube is a bit weird because, like, I get like hand letters come to my YouTube channel. I get typographers. I also get, like, you know, other graphic designers and logo designers. So they're all split. You guys are all split into your own niches, and I go through different ones. I think if you're to be a hand lettering artist, it's not just enough posting your hand lettering on Instagram. You have to do video as well. Video is the future. This is where it's all going. Live video is now the future, where people are doing live things, you know. What about lettering, typography for packaging design? Let me have a look. Any book suggestions or opinion? Again, the only book that I would recommend is this one, which I've shown before, or you've got other ones over here. This is just a small collection that I've got in this office, but you've got Expressive Type, which is cool. It's got like some of my friends in there, like Lauren Harmon, I think Ian Barnard's in there as well. And it's got loads. Is he in there? He should be in there. It's got like James Lewis as well. Yeah, Ian Barnard's in there, Martina Floor, everyone but me. I wish I was in one of these books. But it's got loads of things in here that show you the usage and the packaging. I'm not too sure if I can show you very much, but I'll show it backwards like that. It shows you packaging and stuff, and how people have like problem solved with packaging, you know. This one as well, again, it's just a great book for anyone who's learning how to do hand lettering, do compositions and things of that nature. I'll show you one page and that's it. What's your top 5 design books? Not too sure about my top 5 and my top 1. Again, if you've only just popped in, if you've been here from the start, I commend you. But again, I'll show you this. This one is great because it's got everything to do with designing type. It's a big, thick book as well. It's really nice, really nicely made, and it's expensive, and it shows you how to design typography, like actual fonts, not just like hand lettering. It's a different process, you know. Wow. Thank you. Please give your feedback on my website if you can. I can't because I've got no internet. I've only got my phone. That's it. So you guys are the only thing, you know. You said you're friends with Ian Barnard. Say hello to him. A good job. Yeah, so me and Ian and Stefan, if you don't know and you haven't followed, we went to Iceland a couple of years ago. That is a good 12-string guitar. It is. I've got a 12-string and a 6-string. But me and Ian and Stefan went to Iceland a couple of years ago to do the world, like what we're trying to do, a huge lettering project in the sand. And it was really fun. We basically went with Simon Cade from DSLR Guide, and it was sponsored by Skillshare. And we went and did some huge lettering in the sand. And the video is on my channel and on my Instagram as well. So there's huge lettering somewhere if you wanted to go and check it out. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the next question. It's a lot easier answering questions when I'm just staring at the camera. I wish I could have like a whole rig here. Okay, we've got one from Janina, and she says, how do you persuade a client like you did when they asked for a design, but you have a better version that you made that's way better? Oh, so when a client likes a design, that's a good thing. But when they're sold on a draft design that you don't think would work well, it's all about educating them. And you can do this in a few different ways. The first way would be to show them why, and you do that by video. So normally what I would do is I'd have a presentation and I would tell them the advantages and the disadvantages and why one's better than the other. And what that does is it builds trust. And that trust is what helps them trust you in making that decision. When someone hires a designer, they shouldn't really have much in their mind. They should have only that they need a design and they need someone who can, with the creative ability to design, and take their thoughts in their head and make it into something visual that they want, but also that works. So designers don't just make things that look cool and eye-catching. Designers communicate. And if a client doesn't understand that, they will choose the one that you don't want them to choose most of the time. They'll choose the one that is the most flashy and everything else. But when a client understands what you do, which is through education, you show them that, you know, this doesn't work well because of this. Obviously, you can have it if you want, but I'm going to do a better one for you, which you should have. You know, it's all about education. So, yeah. Excuse me. Any other questions? There's a surprising amount of you in here listening to this. So, oh, wow. How did you get over design block? Design blocks. Sorry, someone says, where can we meet you? I don't know. Don't come to my house. But how to get over design block? Easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to get over design block. Everyone gives themselves too much credit, like, oh, I don't know what to do. Well, all you need to do is make some bad designs. I start off every single one of my projects with embarrassingly bad designs. My sketchbook, which I shall grab, where is it? Hang on. Right here. Okay, so I have literally a pencil and a sketchbook. And in here, if you've been to any of my workshops, you'll have seen this sketchbook. It's the same one. I have a load of bad work in this sketchbook. Let me try and show you it in the best light. There you go. And there's old work as well, actually. All of it's like really weird. Some of it's got some like good work in it, but most of it's got like these weird sketches in, and they're really bad. And the idea is that this book is the only place where I can put like bad work, and it stays in here, and I don't have to show it to anyone. And what I do is I have to try and get over the fear of making something bad, and then do like 10, 20 designs of something that is bad, or different versions of something. Then I'll make it look good when I get the right design. And I've only just seen that's my hand lettering on the back of there with a Posca marker. But that's basically what I do. So design block, way you deal with that is by doing really bad designs and don't be afraid of doing them, but then also get out of your environment. Go and like do something else. Don't just sit in your office and, you know, wallow in it. I've just realized I've got like hot salsa right there. Cool design, right? Any plans for a Skillshare course? I wanted to do one, and yes, I've got plans for a course. Not sure if it's on Skillshare yet, but I do want to do one. And I have started a Skillshare course, but never finished it because my work is so sporadic in different way. That hot salsa, hey Dansky. Yeah, I've got hot salsa back there. Everyone, if you don't know who Dansky is, I'll be surprised if you didn't. He is a legend in the design community. He creates awesome tutorials, and he's got a course, I believe, in design, in UX design. If you wanted to go and check him out, go and click on the chat thing. He's got a little tick next to his name. Go and subscribe to him. He's a legend. I'm going to wait for another question to pop in. Again, I'll remind everyone, if you want your question to be asked properly, go and super chat or join. Got to have salsa on hand, mate. Oh, thank you. No worries, Dansky. It's good to see you, man. It was nice seeing you at Adobe Max. Which is the best social media to get new clients? Any. So it depends where your clients are. So like I would say Facebook. I haven't had much experience with that, but Instagram is pretty good. How many messages of chat can you see at a time on your screen? Like 4, less than 4. That's how many I can see. Next question. And one of the coolest designs of beer yet is Bud Light, just with like, this is even sponsored, not that it would be, but like it's unreal, like the design. So blue, shows refreshness, and also just like amazing, amazing typography. Is flat design still here, or has graphic design industry moved on? Also, do you know the names of all the design phases through the years? I have no idea. That's one question I have no idea about. Dansky is in the house, people. He loves it. But I have no idea. Why are you not designing a logo? Okay, for anyone who just popped in, my internet stopped working, to which I apologize for. This is my sorry card whenever I bring it up, because some company started digging outside my house and they broke the internet, basically. So I'm doing this off my phone. Quick question, creative market or YouTube for your cool passive income? Well, creative market depends if you sell products. YouTube, it depends if you can amass an audience. Is Vectornator the best for design on iPad? It is, and I'm working with Vectornator on a video, in fact. What challenges do you face as a designer? I challenge, no, the biggest challenge is loneliness. You can feel very alone. I live in a very small town, and although you guys may think, you know, I'm not saying all of you think, but like, you may think if you have like a YouTube channel or you have the kind of job that I do, that you're not alone because you're in communication with people all the time. Well, the opposite is actually true. You know, you can feel very alone in the industry when you're not doing what everyone else is doing. And the loneliness isn't lack of people around you, it's lack of understanding of people getting it, you know? So that's probably my biggest challenge, that and imposter syndrome. How do you choose colors for logo design? I choose it by the psyche of people. So for instance, it's not just the colors of the logo, it's the color of the brand. So Bud Light, everyone knows, even before I bring it up, the brand color is blue. Blue. Reason why it's blue, blue shows water, refreshing. It's very nice. I don't want my phone to die on me. Please don't die. And the actual logo is the can on here, really. The Bud Light is just to label it, but the logo is the can. Same with me. My logo is a signature, but this, my face on a screen, is kind of like the logo of my company, you know? So the best way to have a color, like for me, it would be like brown because my hair is brown. But the best way to have a color for a logo, for like a corporate color or corporate logo, even, is to look at the psyche, do some research into color theory of logo design. Like, look at why Apple have their color black and white. Look at why Samsung have it black and white. Look at why Sony have it black and white. Why do they do that? Why does Bud Light have a white logo on a blue bottle, on a blue can? Doesn't make sense. What about, I don't know, like a Vivid E-Liquid, it's white on purple. The packaging is what the color should be on, not the logo. It's everything about this. This is to get you to see refreshment, but it's also to get you to see that it's Bud Light. So it's refreshing, it's trustworthy, and it doesn't break the bank. That's what I believe, colors are when it comes to logo design, if that makes sense. So the way that I choose it is by just changing it and seeing what looks best and doing the best. Blue face paint. I wouldn't put blue face paint on. Imagine that. That would be insane. No problem, all right. Is it a good idea to remember the exact hex colors of your brand off by heart? Because I can for some reason. Is it a good idea? It doesn't matter as long as you can get it, as long as you can get it, How much should you charge for your first, say, for your first 10 customers? That depends. So I live in a very small town. First customer I charge like £60. And then, other customers I charge an obscene amount. And that's because of the work that I'm doing for them. And over the years, my pricing goes up. And that's because I'm getting better every year. Pricing is very personal, but you can choose whatever you want, whatever you would pay for. But always make sure that you have the ability to do more than what you're paid for. So people spend £2,000 or £4,000, 5, 6, 7, 8,000 to 10, 20, £100,000 on you. But you've got to make sure that you can provide a service that is worth more than that. All right. And someone's posting their hex numbers into the chat. Hilarious. So just price it at whatever you think is the best. That's what I would say. Where do I like to vacation? I haven't actually been on vacation in a long time. Last time I was on vacation, it really wasn't. I was writing my book because I had a deadline, but like in Europe and places. I'd love to see a tutorial on how to make a custom mockups. What do you think about that? That would be really cool, actually. I might do a tutorial. Yeah, Dansky, £50 logos. Those are the days. Yeah, those were the days, right? But a mock-up tutorial would be a good idea. I haven't done one, I don't think. I don't even know if you guys want to see tutorials, Tutorials like, if you do want to see tutorials, feel free to email the Break Designs email thing, my old email, or to put it in the comments of my videos. Whenever I upload a video, I check out the comments for the first half an hour just to see who's watching it and to thank everyone who watches it, But if you have any suggestions for videos, tell me here, or find a way to contact me on Instagram or YouTube. Can you imagine ever working in an agency? No, I'm unemployable. I don't think people would like for me to employ them. I'm too opinionated, and by that, the reason why is because I think I don't want to work in an agency. I wouldn't enjoy it because it'd be doing work that I have no control over. The reason why I do the work that I do is because I have control over it. Nothing wrong with being an agency, just not for me, Dansky. I am unemployable, this, Dansky. Who else is on here? Again, just going to keep plugging it, but if you want your question answered and it's a burning question, super chat anything from like £1, $1 to whatever, and you'll definitely get your question answered. I'm trying my best to go through all these questions that pop up on my phone. Also, if you like the channel, think about joining the channel. That is an extra bit of support, and you get some cool perks when you do that. Thoughts and strategy within design. You're going to have to go into that a bit more, Tom. I don't understand the question. When you will make a can as sample and design. When will you make a can as sample and design it? Let's be lesson for lettering. Oh, so you mean when will I make a can? I have to see that, I have to see. The stream is amazing considering we have no internet. Yeah, I'm glad you guys actually like it. It means a lot that you guys are here, you know. It means a lot. I can do all sorts of my phone. I can go black and white. No, don't like that though. How do you determine the price of a logo? Um, my wife does. That's a question you can ask my wife. But honestly, no, my wife actually determines the price now. That's her job. And we've become a company. I'm no longer self-employed. We're actually a company now. So yeah, you guys are gonna have to check her out and ask her really in the emails, which I'm pretty sure she'll answer as much as possible. What's the best way to put your designs on there on Instagram to get more customers? What's the best way to put out there on Instagram? Well, you put the designs that you like the most. Don't put designs out that got you paid loads. If you hate the project, don't put the work out. If you enjoyed the project and you can get paid for it, put that out, because what that does is it gets excuse me, it gets other designers, not designers, but your clients, the potential ones, to see your work and to see what you do best. You don't want to show them work that you may be good at that you didn't enjoy. You want to show them work that you are good at and that you enjoy doing, because then you'll get paid doing that. So to get clients on Instagram, post daily if possible. If not, at least a couple of times a week. I've been falling back on that for the past year. But post as often as you can to give that presence. So when someone thinks of a logo designer, my hope is that when someone thinks of, oh, hand lettering or logo design, they think of me, because they've seen me on Instagram and they've seen my work. Same with you guys. You can build um, the same audience and the same people around you. Was it scary when you first registered for self-assessment? I've literally just done it. Yes, it was. Dansky, you're a legend. Thank you. Here's to being unemployable. Cheers, Will. Cheers, Dansky. Thank you so much for the £10 super chat. Super generous. Legend. Thank you so much. Go and subscribe to Dansky, everyone. I love design YouTubers. They're cool as anything. We are the best on the planet on YouTube. Everyone's so happy. Self-assessment is difficult, though. It is. Like, you need an accountant. Something that I made a mistake on was not getting an accountant, because I had to pay an obscene amount for tax, which means that I wanted to go and become a company with my wife to sort of ease that in. Yeah, Naomi's saying if you need any help with anything, Naomi's email is on my Instagram. What is the long time? What is the long time you've taken to design a logo? What's the longest time? The longest time it's taken me is probably about half a year, on and off. What is that? The question is oh, and why? Well, I think the reason why is because of communication. Yeah, communication between the clients, and that's probably my fault. Sometimes it's hard for me to communicate with them, but it can take about half a year sometimes. Should I get an Instagram to post logos? Yeah, sure. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? That's all I say is what's the worst that could happen if you get an Instagram to post logos? The best thing that could happen is that you get a client. Any books you recommend? I've already said that, so you might have to scroll back through. But there's loads of books you search on Amazon. Do you ever charge per hour? If yes, how did you arrive at the figure? I do not ever charge per hour. I never charge per hour. And that's because it's unfair on everyone. If you charge per hour, I found that you work not as good as you would charge if you got the full price. I like to tell someone what they're going to pay and what they're going to get. So they're going to pay for the service, and then the burden's on me. And then also, it means that a lot of people say, well, what if you work 100 hours on a project that you've only would technically get paid, a good amount if you worked on it for 10 hours or 20 hours, Well, I say I'd rather spend 100 hours on that project and make sure the project is done well and that the client likes it, despite the challenge of it, and know that they're not getting screwed over with their money. And I'd rather not screw myself over, but do the work to the best of my ability in that time and not feel pressured to finish it quickly so the client didn't have to pay as much. Also, I don't agree with penalizing myself for designing quickly. So if a company gives me a few £1,000s to design a logo and it takes me half an hour, I do not want to be penalized for that. I want to make sure I get full payment. because it's about the experience that they're buying into. It's not just the product or the service. They're buying into the experience, the amount of money that it's taken for me to learn what I learn or learn what I know, and the amount of people that I could be working with, you know? So, yeah. Any other questions? I'm just looking. Did you start with cracked Adobe software? I did. And surprisingly enough, I was in Paris a few years ago, and I remember Michael at Adobe Live asking me, and I said yes. And, you know, it's a really cool system that they've got, because Adobe allow people to crack it, kind of. It's weird. They could stop people cracking the software very easily. But if you think about this for a second, you guys, before you became designers or creatives, you probably had a cracked version of Photoshop or Illustrator. Let's be honest. I did years ago. And the reason why I use Photoshop now is because I cracked it then. So I pay full price right now, right? And what Adobe hope to do is that if kids are cracking it when they're young and using it for free, that they use it when they're older and they'll be paying for it. You know, it's a long relationship. If you get someone in young to a software like Photoshop, whatever, and get them in the family, they'll be using it in the future. Obviously, I don't use cracked Photoshop software or any software now. No need for me to do that. I can't really do that because, you know, they'd probably sue me. And they would have found out anyway, because I had to get them to check out my laptop when I did some Adobe Live work for them. But yeah, there you go. And that's an admission for everyone right there. Tips for beginners. Don't be afraid. That's the worst tip. That's the first tip. Don't be afraid of doing bad work. Second tip. So don't be afraid at all. Don't be afraid of doing bad work. Second tip. Third tip. Do it. Just do it. Do the Nike thing. Just do it. If you don't do it, you'll miss any shot you don't take or every shot you don't take. What's the best way for practicing lettering in Procreate? Just do it. A lot of people, what I like to do is when I'm practicing lettering in Procreate, is just take words that are on my mind and I'll put them down there. And it's like journaling. So, for instance, I can show you, I guess. 2 secs. Here we go. My hair's in my way, even though I've got it cut. So, today I've just done that really quick. Love more. It was just in my mind, and I put that down, and I thought, you know, that would be pretty cool to give to someone or to do. As well as that, what else did I do? I did the word change, like that, and that's just little bits and bobs that I do during the day, you know. And I like this one. Oh, sorry, chance, not change. You changed it from change to chance, but the reason why I like that one, it just works really well with the stippling, and it just pops out at you. I do this quite a lot. And also it's got like really cool shadows on it, you know, really fun. But that's the best way to practice, is just to do it and then just have fun with it, because then you come up with like these crazy ideas, you know. Do you know some good and cheap graphic tablets? Yeah, Wacom do loads of cheap ones, man. Huion, 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 they do really cool ones for cheap as well. Hello, goodbye to you as well, man. Thank you. I even painted that thing, that A behind me. And that was fun to do. I've got like loads of like paintings on my wall that I've done. Do you practice lettering in the iPhone X? No. Procreate did commission me last year to do, what is it called? A lettering commission, sorry, in the iPhone for Pocket Procreate, and I've got like a little bamboo thing, and that's the only time I've ever, you know, designed in my iPhone, and it turned out really well actually. Love from India, thank you. Love from England to you. If you are going to invest in a computer, would you do laptop or desktop? It really depends. It's hard for me to say. I think the best thing to keep in mind, or the thing to keep in mind when you're going for a new computer, is to work out why you need it. Do you need a computer that you can travel around with? Is that something on your horizons, or do you know you're going to be in an office all day? For me, I've got a laptop and I've got a desktop and I've got an iMac. I've got a PC, a Mac, a MacBook, an iPad, an iPhone. I need all these things for different reasons. Namely my iPad and my MacBook for traveling, and my iPad for drawing, my phone for connectivity to people. My desktop's there for video rendering, for live streaming, for games, for anything I want to do. I think what I've learned is that you can never have enough. You can never have it actually enough. Please do a walk around of your town and show the really old buildings and the old signage that was done there. The oldest thing we have in my Arizona town is 120 years old or less. Yeah. So my town's really old. This house I'm in now, and I would say like a lot of people in the UK, maybe including Dansky, I don't know how old his house is, but I think most of our house is like over 100 years old. Like this house is definitely over 100 years old. You see that little white thing? Where is it? That white thing there looks like a vase. Oh wait, is that a vase? That is a vase. Over there, that white thing is an Orbi. It's a Wi-Fi mesh network, because downstairs, like all the walls in the house are like this thick. Like normally they'd be about this or this, but they're like really thick walls because they were built in the 1800s. These houses. My town's an 1800 Georgian town with a castle and everything. Got old signage and everything else. That's why I love England. There's so much history. Yeah, ours is a Georgian house, and the town is great. It's ancient, but I love it. I was just saying yesterday, actually, a guy called Brandon, who you've seen before, Brandon Federico from Voyage and Vanquish, he's coming to my hometown just to come visit and to chill out. We're going to do some workshops around in England. He's going to freak when he sees everything in the town because everything's so old. Crazy, right? Anyway, next question. Let's see these questions before I rattle on. I don't know if there's like a lag or anything in the stream, but sometimes the questions don't pop up. How many options of the logo do you show your customers in the beginning of the process? I don't show them any. I show them one, actually, if you talk about options. I normally show them like my sketches and I tell them what they're going to get, which is probably the best way for me to do it. But it takes a long time to explain this. But if I give a client like 5 options, they're generally going to just choose the one that they like the most. They're going to make an emotional choice instead of an educated, a strategic choice, a business-minded choice. They're going to make an emotional choice of what they think looks the coolest, because that's a lack of education into what design is about. They don't realize, a lot of them, I'm not saying like they should, because they probably, it's just genuinely they don't realize that it's important to have something that communicates something well, not just have something that looks cool, right? So I show them 1 or 2, and I say to them, I could work with these 2. I think these 2 like both work, but I prefer this one because mainly it's easier for me. So that's how I do it, really, if that makes sense. At Will Patterson, hello, that's me. Again, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, press the subscribe button. I do apologize again for not doing the logo thing. That's because the internet company's being annoying. Top 3 tips you would give to a beginner logo designer. Top 3. Make a logo every day. For 30 days straight, you should make a logo and put it on your Instagram. And by that, I mean you should sketch out 10 versions of that logo into your book in 10 minutes. So really quick sketches. You should work out which one's the best in 3 minutes, and then you should be able to vectorize it in half an hour, finalize it in an hour, change the color in an hour, and then put it out online. And that should take about 4 or 5 hours in your day to do. If you're a beginner logo designer and you're serious about it, creating a logo every day for 30 days straight for a month and posting it online will not only enhance your ability to create a logo, but it will also give you a platform to show your work, right? And it works really well. What is the best way to contact clients by freelance website or directly by marketing ourselves? Which payment method you accept from clients? I'm not sure about your first question, but I accept backs payments, so like just like actual transfer payments, Stripe payments. That's how I normally accept mine. You can do PayPal, but I don't really, PayPal's a bit weird, right? It can be a bit off. Sometimes I feel like it's a bit off. Which is the best course according to you, graphic design or digital marketing? I don't know of a best course. I think they're all really good. Each course has got something different that you'll learn, and that's why I personally like Udemy and Skillshare and Amanda and Neil. All these people have got really cool courses. And the great thing about the internet is that there's so many. Each instructor is different, and they all give a different thing to the person who's in the course, whatever they're called, the student. If you take a course, they'll give you a different perspective. Again, guys, if you have a question that you're trying to ask, but I keep missing it, super chat me or join. If you guys join the channel, you get some perks. Should I focus on one software and really be a pro, or should I learn several softwares? Depends. So I know Photoshop and Illustrator and Premiere Pro and Audition. And the reason why I know all those is because I use them. Do I know InDesign? Do I know Adobe XD like Dansky does? No, I don't know that. I know that Photoshop and Illustrator are pretty similar, but the software isn't really the thing. The software is just the tool. It's like saying, should I get, the best pencil to do any old work? No. It's not about the pencil, it's about who's behind it. So although this is like one of my favorite pencils, which is a Palomino Blackwing 602 pencil, which is really nice, and I'm geeking out right now over this. But it's like saying, the pencil is the thing that's making your work really good, but in reality, it's not. Same with software. Your software is not the thing that's making your work good. What understanding software does is it frees you to be able to do things. But then the more you use the software, the more you realize that you just need a pencil. Is Affinity Designer enough for vector-based work, or do I need Illustrator? Affinity Designer is just enough. You don't need Illustrator. I just try to time my messages to you about 20 seconds before you finish an answer. It's a good idea, actually. Using maths to get me, right? Corel rules. Yeah, Corel works. Never used it. I do use Affinity Designer sometimes, just for when I'm having a bit of fun, but I'm more comfortable in Adobe Illustrator. I like your content. Thank you. I'm a beginner in lettering. Everything is great with paper and pencil, but when I tried to draw an iPad, everything went wrong. Can you advise something? Sorry, excuse me. Can you advise on this situation? Yeah, I can. Just keep going. Like, it's different. I think maybe something that you might not have is like a matte screen protector. If you're drawing on a piece of glass with the Apple Pencil, it's going to feel awful. In fact, I didn't really draw on my new iPad until I got a matte screen protector. No, in fact, I actually ripped off my old matte screen protector from my other iPad and put it on my new one, and then cut the corners. There's a cool screen protector called Paperlike. I'm actually redesigning their logo. I think they're the biggest known screen protector for iPads, for matte iPads. It feels like paper. It feels like you're drawing on paper, Get one of them and it should make your work a lot better. I'm not the best at logo design. However, once I finish my graphic design dissertation in 3 weeks, I'm hoping to do it a wee bit better in that field in summer. That's okay. Keep doing it, man. Companies don't look for degrees, although it does help you, really does help you, gets you to understand it. What they look for is experience and your work. If you're in university right now and you haven't got a freelance project on the go, then you're doing it wrong. You need to have a freelance project on the go, whether it's something that's a passion project or whether it's something that is with an actual client. If you can show what you're doing and show the workings out in your portfolio, then that's what's going to get you client work. That's what will secure you a job in the future. How much time should you be putting on a logo? Well, I think there's a story about the Windows logo for the PC. Apparently, that took like 15 seconds or something. The woman who designed it, I'm not too sure how true that story is. I remember someone telling me, but the story apparently goes like this woman was hired to come in. I don't know the name of her, shocking I know, but she comes in and they say, we need a logo for this. It's called Windows and stuff. And this woman just gets out a sketchbook, gives like an obscene price to them, saying, yeah, 1,500,000 million pounds or whatever, or dollars. And then she just draws it out in the meeting, the logo. She just draws it out and says, "This is your logo." And that the concept took like literally less than 15 seconds, which is always like sometimes the best concepts are the ones that you come up with first, you have to prove it. But it depends really. If you're struggling to come up with a concept, it'll take longer. Think it's like how long's a piece of string? Each project is different. A logo with a different concept that you don't understand fully will take longer. For instance, I'm working with Paperlike. I know Paperlike. I know what an iPad feels like. I know what it's like to draw on one. I know what it's like when you first get the Paperlike screen protector. Ooh, that hurt. Just stabbed myself. But what it feels like when you first get the screen protector and you draw on it, it feels great. And I can put that visually into a logo somehow, and it doesn't take as long. Have you taken jobs from foreign clients that you had direct contact with, and how did it go? Yeah, I take most of my clients are foreign. Like if you're in America, you're foreign. I'm from the UK. It always goes. Most of the time, it goes well. Should I say? Inkscape. Yep. Is that a question? I don't know. Next question. I'm quite enjoying this. Since you've stabbed yourself, you can put pain warning in the title for more clicks. Well, just like self-mutilating myself. What are the 3 do's and don'ts of a portfolio? Ooh, that's a good question. All right, let's try it. So one do. So make sure you do put good work out. Make sure you put your best work, the ones that you're most proud of. One don't put work that you did not enjoy out. One do, update your portfolio regularly, which is something I don't do. Otherwise, your work will stagnate. Because if you're like me, you'll just keep getting better and better and better. And then you look at your website and you just want to shut your whole website down. One don't is what would another don't? Yeah, don't. Oh yeah, here's another don't. Don't invite people on Behance to just spam messages to go to your portfolio. That is not cool, and I hate it. That's why I don't use Behance. I don't like the ability of messaging people on Behance. People always messaging me and stuff. The next do, the do would be to always have a contact form on your portfolio so someone can contact you straight away. One don't is make sure you do not put confidential client information on your portfolio if the client doesn't want you to. It's about respect. Wait for the next question to come through. Again, if you guys want a question answering, you can super chat. What do you think about logo design competitions like 99 Designs and things like that? I don't really like it. Logo design competitions don't really do anything for me. They kind of I think the problem that I have with them is that it's just free labor. Like you're getting too much. They're getting too much from the pricing that they're giving to that company. I understand why people do it, but it's just not something that I like. I wouldn't do it if I was any of you guys. What should I do if I hate business and do not know much about it, but I like graphic design? I want to be a freelancer. Well, you're gonna have to like business if you want to be a freelancer. But if you don't want to be freelancer and you like graphic design, get yourself a degree, apply yourself, get freelance work whilst you're in a degree. Hey, what's up, David? Good to see you, man. Good to see Dave Pritt in the house. Legend. He's a member as well. He joined us. Thank you so much, Dave. Legend. Can I just say as well, David Pritt has come to my workshops before. So good to see him there. And it's good to see him today. Is Fiverr a good website? No. I don't think it is. I don't like Fiverr. Do you think you need uni for graphic design, just finishing a foundation diploma? Due to start in uni in September, but not sure. I don't think you need it. All that really counts if you want to be a freelancer is your work. Like, can you promote your work? The biggest things is, can you get your work out there so people can see it? And is your work good enough for people? My logo is square, but all social profile photos are circles. Should I change my logo? No, no need to. His workshops are fantastic. Make sure to check one out. Cheers, David. Legend. Yeah, I do have workshops. We're actually doing some more in a few months. How to start freelancing if your portfolio is not good enough. Do fake projects. So you can do fake briefs, which is what I used to do. So I used to make up a company, or just take a company like Samsung or whatever, like just as an example, and pretend you're designing a logo for them. Like, what would you do? And then show your workings out in your portfolio, and then maybe work for someone who's your neighbor, work for your local church, be around people, surround yourself in them, and don't be afraid to be bad at what you do. I think a lot of people are afraid to make a bad logo, and the only way to make a good logo is to not be afraid of it, of making the bad ones first. It's like, a tap. Like, there's so much water in a tap, but there could be mud in the tap, and when you open the tap, you unscrew it and the water comes gushing out. The water might be brown because it's got loads of mud in it, but if you keep it going and the water keeps flowing, it'll take away all the brown, and it would just, it's got an update about my internet. Yeah, they better fix that thing. I hope they fix my internet soon. But if you keep the tap running and all the mud will come out of the pipe, and you'll just get nice flowing clean water. And that's how you do it. Well, that's the same with logo design. If you just get all the ideas out that are bad and good, you'll start generating better ideas and more positive ideas into your work. I hope that helps. People are just timing the questions because they all come at once. If you're not a Photoshop whiz, what is the best, quickest, easiest way to make mock-ups of flat design work or your flat design work for your website? Best mock-ups, just go on to creativemarket.com and get them, Creative Market works really well for mock-ups. Do you use any application for designing logos? Yeah, I use Vector Nature on my iPad to do a lot of my pen tooling now for my typography, especially for logo types. Naomi says, I'm making pizza. What do you want on it? Ham and pineapple, pepperoni, or just cheese? I'll just have ham and cheese. That's my wife, if everyone doesn't know. Wait, should I not share my secret of live stream chat? Yeah, because everyone's just like posting at a certain time now. No worries, Julian. Lattes or cold brew? Lattes. No, cold brew. Cold brew is best. I prefer cold brew, especially American cold brew. Personal branding name tips. Can't seem to come up with any with good ideas for brand names. Just use your name. Use your normal name. That's what I did. I just went, I'm going to call myself my name. I want it to be me. Makes it a lot easier. Super chat is not supported in my country. Oh no. Why is that? Super chat is getting worse and worse. It's not working anymore. Cheers from LA. Love your channel. Cheers, Oscar. I love LA, by the way. LA's awesome. Respect, bro. I like your work and videos. Your custom typography are cool. Thank you so much. I'm taking questions for the next 5 more minutes. Then I've been on here for an hour. For anyone who's just jumped into the stream, David Pruitt, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the $10, David. He's so generous. So generous. I hope you're feeling better as well, David. I've been seeing on Facebook you've been a bit ill recently. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, David, though, for the $10 super chat. Legend. Thank you for being so kind and generous. No problem. If you tell that to David, yeah, David Pruitt's awesome. GG David, Naomi says. How do you promote yourself if friends and family don't need logos? Actually, wait a minute. David, did you have a question for me? Because you just gave me the $10 and didn't ask a question. So when you ask a question, I can see it straight away because you're a member as well. I'll see it and I'll answer it, all right? I want David to be the person with the last question because of his generosity. But I'll carry on until he gets one out. So really think of that question, David. whilst I check out these other questions. How do you promote yourself if friends and family don't need logos, and if the only shops or stores nearby are big corporations, so I can't make them for nearby small businesses either? Well, you just do it online. You don't need to have people giving you work. You just make your own work. You do passion projects. So take one of those stores, for example, see what they've done if they're a big corporate store like 7-Eleven, and see what you could do better. One question: how do you get your how to get your bids more appealing while there are thousands of companies and freelancers with high profile reviews of freelance.com and Upwork? Well, people don't trust freelance.com or Upwork. A lot of companies, the reason why a lot of people come to people like me is because they see me online. So I guess they feel like they know me a bit, you know? So they'll probably come to me. A lot of people probably don't trust freelance.com or Upwork because it seems really cheap. Best artists who steal from other arts. What do you think about logos? How can this help? I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Is it just me, or does it smell like UPDOG in here? I'm not too sure what that means. I know it. Does this? What's up, dog? There you go. I just got it. Yeah, that's a good joke. I had a friend who said that once. How do you make sure your work is unique? Example, not already created logo. Well, every logo that you could possibly think of, every shape in a logo that is worth something is probably being created. Surprisingly, it's all about creating a unique story to it. Like the color's unique. There's always something you can do. If you get a modern logo book or whatever, a modern logo book, you might be able to see that in a modern logo book, what's it called, like modern loganism or logo modernism or something. It's a huge book. It's like really thick, right? When you get that book, you can see that you can't actually come up with any other ideas, right? And the reason why is because everyone's been taken. So what do? We take inspiration. So if you can't create anything unique, but you can only take from other people, then what can you do? I'll leave that in your ballpark. You don't steal, but you could go and take inspiration. I really don't have a question how. We need to talk soon. I would love to do a collab with you sometime. Yes, I would love to, David. We have to I'll Instagram you and we'll get chatting. We'll have a phone call and we'll work out what we can do together, David. Well, Naomi Patterson does the account we're using right now. I have a channel. Well, you want to know Naomi's channel? Cool. All right. What are your thoughts on the golden ratio to design a logo? What is the best use for? And why stay away from using it? Don't stay away from using it. It's good to use, but don't just keep using it. The golden ratio is great for proportions. So, for instance, if I had a square logo and I wanted to work out the best proportions for it, in different areas, I would just use the 1.6.18, 1.618 rule, which is the Fibonacci sequence, and that would just give me a nice proportion. But you can do it with anything, But you can use it. And I've forgotten the rest of your question. We've got 3 minutes left until I've been on here for an hour, people. Let's see what questions we can get out. Thanks for answering so many questions. Super chat not supported in my country. How can I support you in any other way? Just make sure you subscribe, dude. Subscribe and join. No one has to super chat, and this is the great thing about YouTube. It's if you want to, you can. If you can and you do want to, you can. If you don't, that's cool. But just subscribing and watching my videos and commenting and turning on post notifications, that's how it can support me. Because as you know, Article 13, not looking good. So, and also the UK is in a mess right now with EU stuff. So, but thank you so much for supporting me, everyone. Any more questions? Let's get a couple more in before I have to finish up and have some food. I want to see if my internet's working yet. That'll be interesting. Whoa, they've already popped up. No, I do. What's this? I personally don't care about constraining logo designs to the golden ratio. You don't have to. I do it just because it can help me with proportions, My logo for my not registered company is a 4-point star shape in the middle of 4 circles. Hang on. And it's split up into 4 pieces, each different colour. Cool. Stop being British and moaning. I'm sorry, Matt. It's hard not to moan. Thanks a lot, Will. It's been years since the first time I subscribed to this channel. No, thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. But if you haven't already, actually, no, one last question. Here we go. Instagram account like to portfolio instead of having a gallery. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Might just be me being tired. But guys, thank you so much for watching this live stream and being part of. If you haven't yet, please press that red subscribe button, turn on post notifications so you never miss out on a video again. Don't know if you heard that, but turn on post notifications if you can. And I'll catch you in the next video.